Much. Thank you. Thank you so much, Megan. First of all, for this beautiful conversation, for allowing us to witness it. Wow, it was, just looking at you now and seeing this energy in you, and I'm very curious to know, looking back at this conversation now, what is it that really stood out for you?
Oof, so what really stood out, I think, in the coaching that Dr. Call provided me, yeah. So what was really helpful is first off when the hey, I have an image in my head. Because I think this is how humans really work, right? You can give us a big narrative, but in the end, having that picture in front of us is going to be a lot more talkative, a lot more loud. So that was really powerful because I was able to really zoom out a lot more. So this really stood out. I think I think what also helped is the check-ins, the regular check-ins. Hey, so can we pause for a second? So what are your main takeaways? I guess that's really helpful to remove the noise because there's a lot of noise that happens in your head while you're having that conversation. So that was really good too. Um, and getting me with the okay, well, like what's the commitment or what is it that I really want at the very end of the session? That was really helpful.
It's beautiful. And, it's really visible to see the shift in you from the beginning to the end. And I'm just
Awesome.
curious. I'm just curious, for you yourself, what is it that you now see different after such a, you know, formative conversation? What is different for you?
What is different? How I think what's different is the way I am now looking at how am I going to put this? The way I'm looking at Megan. I think the way I was looking at Megan before the conversation versus the way I am now, and hopefully will continue to look at Megan now, I think is going to be important. Hence the important question at the end: what do you want? That that was that was good.
Beautiful. So thank you for walking us through the image and the questions that really got something going for you. And, if you were to just share what is significant for you from a coaching conversation compared to any other kind of conversation?
Oof. I think first off is having the ability to feel safe in the conversation. And I think you're going to find this when you have someone in front of you who's actively listening, who's definitely not going to try to fix you, who's not going to try to give you any what's the word advice. Sorry, I was going to speak to you in French. Conseil, advice. I don't know, have you ever had this? You're talking to a friend, you've got this problem, and the person, you know what you should do? No, no, I don't want to hear this. This isn't what I want to hear. So I think this is really important because it contributes to that very safe environment. And obviously, they're powerful questions because really the reason why you want to talk to someone is to help having that to having support in looking at things differently. So those questions that you don't necessarily think about by yourself, they're important. So I'd say those three.
Thank you. Well, thank you so much for your clear, articulation of, how this was for you. And if you were to complete this experience, what is it that you would like to say about this coaching session?
Thank you. That'd be the big one. No, and I think like to summarize it, I think that it felt like it mattered. I don't know if it makes sense what I'm saying. Because sharing, being vulnerable, it demands a bit of courage and you gotta feel in the right place and be with the right person. I didn't know Dr. Ko. So he made it feel like it mattered, that it wasn't silly, and there was a place to actually talk about it and to explore. So I think that's the last thing that I'd add, if it makes sense.
Indeed, it does. Thank you so much, Megan, for
No,
allowing
thank you.
us to learn and to, witness this beautiful conversation with you today. I'd like to thank on behalf of everyone. And I'll pass on to, thank you so much.
Thank
So,
you. Thank you. Now, after that, I think we have run the mental meters, and that's
mhm,
quite a good contribution. Would you like to read for us?
sure.
Thank you.
Thank you. So once again, thank you so much for this opportunity. And let's see what stood out for you. Unpack and repack. Attentive listening, a great memory to recall specific details of the different parts of the conversation. Powerful indeed. The point of overthinking about the perception of an audience that she has no control over. The final inquiry on how she would like to be different. I can see how the transformational approach opens the mind in such an inviting manner. The conversation is open, friendly, focused, and deep, impressive. For me, it seemed there are many ways to ask, what is it you want to have happen? Overthinking versus the subject of matter you are overthinking. Such a powerful inquiry and pivotal in the conversation. The graphic and relatable metaphor. The coach was not in a hurry to expand the client's mind so as to get the client to identify the focus. I also appreciated the mirroring done by the coach, which did seem to help the client identify choices and the way forward. The image of the pregnant woman, the excitement that comes with a lot of unknowns, seeing how the shift happens so naturally and is organic is amazing. And I understand now why the change experienced by the client can be lasting and impactful. How the coach uses one powerful metaphor, first time present lady, all throughout the conversation. The ability of the coach to create lightness in the session and use a beautiful metaphor related to life, future, mystery, growth, and acceptance of the new baby. Checking the pregnancy status too to make feel the pregnant lady safe in her. Asking the client to see herself, the self-discovery. The unpack and repack question made the coachee stop to think what kind of mindset she wanted to take with her. It's so simple and yet so powerful. It's gentle and yet so impactful. It's a mix of things coming together to produce the results. Call out. There are some things about babies that we do know. Call out client has incomplete view on her situation. The coaching presence, the metaphor of the pregnant lady, how the coach walked the client out of the situation to the who of the client, to fully embrace and see the client in the moment. The beautiful analogy of the pregnant lady. Great analogy pointed as a visual one she would take away with her and is likely to remember in the moment when she's being too hard on herself. Labels given to the voluminous details. Unpack and repack stood strong. Powerful questions asking the right time metaphor is excellent. How the client shifted the metaphor, challenging the client sensitively and with humor. A simple, fluid, friendly, and organic way to transform into a new way of looking at things and feeling more safe with it. Wow. The powerful metaphor and questions. When the coach saying that what he didn't understand about what the client had said, it supported the client to get greater clarity. Acceptance of the in the moment approach, the coach's curiosity to know more. How do you want to be different at the end was powerful. Creating a safe environment for the client, checking on her commitment. The coach was a great mirror for her mind. Pausing is powerful. Thank you so much, everyone.
Wow,